Hello everyone, this is Shelby Creations. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. It's Saturday, not a journal day. So we're working on something totally different. Now, a lot of you have seen me use frames lately. And while these are nice, not everyone has these. So I know from my scrapbooking days, and especially from a wonderful gift from Sherry, I have other frames, and yes, I've been sitting here hiding them from you, but we'll need that cutting board in a minute. And these are some of the ones we're used to seeing. These are, they're chipboard, they're quite thick, and while some will go with what I'm working on, I have a few that may not. So what do we do with those? And one thing we can do, like this one was a double one, and all I simply did was cut it apart. Now you're thinking, well, you've got one good frame, but then you've got one. We can use that. Don't let something like this deter you. Move these off to the side. So since I cut it, what I can do is on a page, let me grab one of the journals here we're working in. I'm using this because it is a bigger journal so that you can see. We can take this, and we don't have to go in the middle with a photograph. We can come along here along the edge and trim that off so that we've only got part of it on the page. Who says you need to use the whole thing? So that's what I'm doing today with these few. Now, another thing that you can do with them is, and I had a few paper ones here that I knew I wasn't going to use because the colors were too bright. And all I did was come in with washi tape. And see here, I used two different washi tapes and covered them, but I covered the back side. So what if I decide I want something with those colors? I've still got it, or I've got that one. So it's basically a multi-use. Now this one here, I did do the front because that was the first one I did. And then I realized, well, I could have done it on the back. See, there was that one, and there's the back side. There's the front, and now there's the back side. So, and these are just paper frames. So we see those. But now what do we do with the ones that are the chipboard? They're real thick. Well, like I was showing you, we cut these two apart. So now what I'm going to do is I want to get rid of this part, so I'm going to sort of eyeball it where I think that, as you see, there's a thin white line there, where that would come to, and I just put a dot there. So now I can come in here with my ruler, well, if I can pick it up, and I'm going to use my craft knife here. Now I've already cut this part here off, so all I want to do is come in here to that dot, and that dot I did not, let me use another pen here. So I think this is actually going to turn around, come down here, and maybe, well, along this way. So I actually want to come along where I know the white's going to be. Now, yes, I have a line there. Am I worried about it? We all make mistakes. But I'm not going to let it bother me. I think it'd be better if I go this way. So I'm simply going to line that up right along that edge there. And I'm going to come in to where they intersect. Well, get my All right, that's not gonna work too good with me because I can't see. So I'm gonna do this just lining my razor, my knife blade up and following that groove I just made. Coming all the way in. And it will take a few passes. And I'm gonna come down the other way. And where I'm aiming for is right there, where that junction is. Find where I started that. And yes, there are times you can do without a ruler. Once you get that first, especially something this thick, once you get that first little line cut, then it's easy to come back in. Now, no, it's not perfect, but that's okay. I've got that part now. All right, we'll retract that. Now I can come in here with just my scissors on that one edge. And yes, it's going to be stiff with the scissors, and trim that up. Is that a perfect corner? No, but I can live with it. Now I still have this one down here. Let me see. It's hard if you're just using scissors because this is thick material, but it's not impossible. The only thing that's impossible for me is cutting a straight line. So there. And yes, oh man, look at that. It just rubbed away, except for the ballpoint. But I can use that side, but I still have this side back here. My only problem is I don't like the thickness. So I'm gonna show you on this one. What I started doing is when you start separating these pieces, you'll find out they come off in layers. And sometimes they'll come off pretty good. Sometimes you just gotta sit and work with it a little bit. But they will separate because these are layers of paper. And just like that, just with a little bit of due diligence, it's a lot thinner than what I had. It's bendable and it's easier to work with. I mean, it may not seem like a lot, but that's the thickness of cardstock. So let's do this one here so I can show you how. Now, what I'm looking for, I know I have no more fingernails anymore. Right where, you see where the white ends and then the cardboard begins? That's where you want to aim for. If it's easier getting your craft knife under there, use your craft knife. And I'm just going to go around pulling these pieces apart. And then I'll have something more manageable to put into my journals. Because there are times I don't want anything real thick. So now I've got that. And there's the front, but there's the back. So what are we going to do with the back? I pulled out some washi tape, mainly because I wanted something wide enough that would fit on that. So let me move my cutting pad out of the way, move all that out of the way. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with my washi tape and I'll line it up with one edge and put it down. Now, this leaves a little bit on the inside. No big deal. You can go in there and always trim that down. So this time, because I know that's a hassle, I'm gonna lay it down even with that inner edge. See, every time we do something, we learn a little bit. And then we can do this one. Now, if that edge is uneven, Don't worry about it. Put it down, and you can always come back and trim. Now, if you think the craft paper underneath is too dark, you can always go in and use some paint. Paint it. So there we go. And now what do? I'm going to come down here and just trim the excess away. And it is so simple because your scissors will follow that edge like a natural guide. Pull these out. Get those down there. Yes, you will end up getting stuck with washi tape everywhere. I'll trim that side up. And this is exactly what I did with those other frames. Even though they were, the thin paper, that's okay. You get that edge going with your scissors, and your scissors will follow it. Just be very careful. Once you're used to doing it, it'll come back like second nature. I missed that one there. And now the inside there, I can come here with my craft knife. I'll pull out my cutting mat and let my craft knife go right along that edge. Trim those two little sides there. There we go. And now I've got another frame. So I can use that side or I can use that side. Now, that's not the only way you can do frames. Here, I've got a frame. And, not really caring for these colors. And then I've got the, the regular cardboard like. But I don't want to lose the thickness on this one as much, but we're going to try it anyway. Because now that I look at it, it is a bit thicker than what I really care to use. I think it's because I'm used to using those thinner frames. I got that side, that side. Now, if you like, and I could actually use this, as this came off so smooth, as another frame. So we'll just set that over there for a minute. But now we have this. And this does have a rough feel to it. So if you wanted to go over with some paint, that would definitely give you some texture to that side. But I don't want to do that. I have just a piece of paper. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to glue it down. Ooh, maybe. Oh, let's see. Clean off that top. Now, with it being cardboard, this is going to take more glue because it will seep in to that. As you can see where it's turning dark. Come all down here. I want to mainly get along the edges because that's what needs to be held down. So, and I am putting it on a little thicker than normal. And if it oozes out, I'm fine with that. So, lid back on. And then I'm going to take our frame and sort of get it in the middle. You know, you want sort of an equal everything all the way around it, because we're going to use this side to cover the inside, but we can trim all this off. Now, remember I said we're gonna use the inside as not so much as a trim, but I'm going to come right in here into this corner, and it doesn't matter if you're even, you just want to make sure that you're going corner to corner. And if it's easier just coming in here and doing it this way, that's fine. Yes, there is a double one there. It's okay. So what you're going to do here is simply fold the paper over. So that's going to cover all of that in there. Come in here with some glue. And just press that down. We're going to do that to all 4 sides. And this way, we don't have to worry about cutting out that inside, because it's basically going to be already covered. Now you probably need something to hold these sides down for a bit until the glue adheres. That I don't think I'm going to put as much on these sides, because when you glue it down, it's all going to stay down anyway. When you glue it onto your page, so a little bit here, and then pull that one down. Now, at this point, I am going to bring in my bone folder. Go around the inside and press that down along that crease, along the inside, along the crease. And then I saw where it comes up. I'm just pushing that back into place. Along the edge and then down. Now, what we can do is, again, we come in and we're going to trim it out. Now, it will be a little bit harder along the part where we fold it over, where you've got the double paper, so don't think that you're cutting into the frame, because sometimes that is not the case. With me, I think I've cut into a frame or two, but it's okay. So let your scissors glide along that edge there. And you can even feel that edge when you're going through both layers. Through here, and then our final side here. And there. Now we've got another frame. And then, I mean, very little waste on these things. So the larger ones here are the only ones where, and I mean, you could even use, if you like that, you can even use it that way. I would put a little bit more glue down on the corners though. But yeah, different ways to use your, and it, like here, you could cut this out, or you could leave it like that and then put flowers down there. You know, you could even leave the whole thing, you know, just the way it is, and just put stickers over here. I think it's supposed to go that way. So there's a lot of ways that we can use these frames. Now these are more along the lines of what I would use in our Victorian journals. But again, look how thick they are. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come in here. Now, I know a lot of you we're like me and you have nails. So come in here, find you. Just all you need is to make a little groove in there. Just make a little slit and find out how thin you want the top to be. And that's taking off quite a lot, but like I said, they're going to come off in layers. Now, if you've got the cross part or the ones with the panes, the window panes, you need to be careful when you get to that section. And see, this is where I had the cut, but look how it's separating here into two. Well, I can't grab it. It's like layers. There goes that one. And come down here. That one didn't. Sort of fizzled out. And you can go all the way down to where you just have your top. Just the top, sheet or two. And that would be fine too. It's whatever size you need. So if things are too thick, peel them apart. I think that's about as thin as I'm going to get that one. But now, I'm not sure you can see, but that is a lot of difference in thickness. We have gone from this honker down to this size. And I don't need to do anything else to that. I can use that one just the way it is. This one here, yes, I'm going to peel it back so that I've got something that's not quite as thick to go on my journals, because believe me, they're going to be thick enough as it is. Now, I can keep this, which was the back white piece, and I can come in here with washi tape or ink or whatever and have another one. So now the center section, you can even cover that with washi. So there's a lot, and that's just from one. I can end up with 3. Let's see, when you come to things that you think you're not going to use, repurpose them. When Sherry sent me these, all I could think of was, oh my goodness, what of all the possibilities with this one frame. And her gift to me was like a treasure trove. And I still have lots. Will I use them as they are? I don't know yet. But the possibilities are endless. Try to look at some of your stash that you have. And if you know you're not going to use it, or if it's something that you're not into right now, which at one time, I was using these like crazy when I was doing scrapbooking. Not so much now, but this is still a treasure. Oh my gosh, all the possibilities with these are just, thank you, Sherry. You are awesome. And not only do I have, I've got that one, I still have another one just like it. I've got these that I've repurposed that are doubles. I can use one side or I can use the other. This one here, I would use this as a corner in in a book or in one of my journals, or even, cut it out to where it looks like it's a double frame again, but at a different angle. So just because you have things that may not be what you're working with now, go through them, see how you can repurpose them, and you will be surprised at the treasure trove you have in just a few little things. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today. If you have, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. And then ring that bell notification so you'll be notified of all the new upcoming videos here in the Dragon's Den. Tuesdays and Thursdays are our journaling days. We will be working in our Victorian journal and our Dark Victorian, which will be getting a new name soon because one of my subscribers has come up with a very suitable name for our dark journal. So until next time, bye guys.